I hear you, man. With Duke in the midst of recruiting you, what was their pitch to you as a player?
Um, it wasn't so much Duke as it was my English teacher was the guy that really pushed him on the map. I had to, at that time you had to pick 6 places to visit. I had picked Notre Dame, Michigan, uh, NC State, Carolina, UCLA, and I had one more to choose. And my English teacher, I got this book from Bill Falls. He dropped it off to my high school coach when he was in town. It wasn't even a book of the brochure of the team. It was of the school. So they were in last place for like 3 or 4 years, you know. And I getting tutored from him. I'm sitting there with him, and he's talking about, yeah, Duke University, great school, awesome, academic. But he never looked at the athletic part of it. So he kept badgering. Why don't you go and visit? Take that visit. If nothing else, it'd be a great experience for you. And I was like, So to get him off my back, I said I would go. Okay, I went. I experienced watching, the school is beautiful. I met a lot of, when you talk about racial, I met a lot of, there weren't a lot of blacks there, but there were blacks in different positions. And there was a great contingent of students that looked out for each other. And then I also saw Indians, Pakistani Indians, Saudi Arabians. I saw people from all over the world that were a mixture at Duke. And I thought that was great. I felt I could make them a national power, get them back. I mean, I'm not a Patrick Ewing or Akeem Olajuwon going to Houston or Georgetown, but I knew I had a quality that I could bring to make them a national power. And that was my goal. And it happened. But Bill Foster was the key. Bill Foster was a coach, cynical, silly, funny, like a Johnny Carson. He offset a lot of the other coaches. They were always so serious. He was always so funny. And then, but people don't know, my girlfriend also went to school with me. She went to Duke as well. No one knows that. That's a trivia question. I was able to, she was all honor student, and she was a lot of people don't even know that. My girlfriend Princess from West Philly went to Duke with me.
I hear you, man. So when you first stepped on campus as a student, what was the most impactful for you? Like the things that you had to overcome as a student at Duke?
Getting adjusted. The adjustment was major. You know, you're looking around these buildings. When you sit in the classroom, these students have come from different places. They're magna cum laudes, you know. So that didn't scare me until we started passing my work in, you know. And then in college, as you well know, professors love to praise people that are doing really good in their grades, and that was pretty interesting. And I had to learn I had to almost reteach myself a lot. That was very impressive. Getting used to the adjustment of your time, as you well know, when you go to college, especially at Duke, it was very massive. It was like, now you got time of your own. You better manage it properly. If you don't, you're going to be screwed, especially there. I had to learn how to manage my time. So those two things were intimidating. Basketball-wise, they were all waiting over there for me, you know, with the attention. And here I am, the #1 player in the country, along with Albert King, and coming to a team that's been in last place in the ACC for 4 to 5 years. And, you know, they want to see all this magnificent stuff. And I enjoyed it. You know, I raveled in it. And but they made it good for me. My adjustments went very well for me. So I can't complain about that.
I hear you, man. So that transition to college basketball, what was the hardest step for you as a player?
Learning the league, the ACC. The ACC was a tough league. When we played against Carolina, one thing I never experienced was guys flopping. You know, you make a move and they'll flop, and the referee was giving that call. Carolina was known for that. They were great at it. You can almost just brush them and they will flop, and that's frustrating. You know, you play in basketball in Philly, hard-nosed Philly, you go to the New York, D.C. ball, and here you go making a move, a shake, and the guy falls down, flops down, they call a foul on you. I'm like, that was a big adjustment for me, you know, so I thought that was, you know, I can't say it on this, but it was, girl ball. That's a nice way of calling it. So that was one of my adjustments I had to deal with. The other part was dealing with the ACC situation, the travel, you know, with the fans and everything. But you get adjusted real quick. You can't get, you got to really mentally be prepared for going to Clemson, going to Wake Forest, let alone going to Maryland. But then on top of that, you got Carolina. So, you know, that was a rude awakening.
Those rivalries are insane, man. Duke and UNC, those 2 games each year, and it doesn't get any better than that.
And they're only like 6 or 7 miles down the road, you know, which people don't realize. They're that close, and when you go across the line, it's like 2 different worlds. You know, they got light blue crap everywhere. You know, the streets and everything is light blue, man. And I never went over. I went over there a couple times, and I wasn't received so well. After the 2 times, I never went over there anymore. You know,
I don't like it there. I'm a Duke fan, so.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Duke,
well,
the Devils.
They gave me drama when the 2 times I went over there. So I never go over there. You know.
Hey, could you explain what you're meaning by giving you the crap when you went over there?
I had a car, and I went over there when I first came back, because they were one of my visits when I was in high school. And it was September, right before, you know, the season wasn't starting. I drove on over there. You know how it is when you're so naive that, oh, I'm going to start. I visit these guys. Let me stop by and say hello. And we're going to be kumbaya, brothers, blah, blah, blah. I went over there. They were staying at the towers. That was a big thing. And they basically ignored me. You know, I came upstairs. I sat in, I think, Dudley Bradley's room. And they were running around laughing, joking, and they ignored me. And I was like, okay, maybe I just need to go. And I went downstairs and they flattened my tires. Somebody flattened 2 of my tires. Now, no one knew I was coming over there. So it wasn't like there's an announcement at Gene Bank. I just spontaneously drove over there and parked my car. But I don't know. And I was known, but I don't think I was that known. But then again, I realized that I was more known than I thought I was. You know, it was an afternoon. It wasn't sports time related. So that's what happened. And they flattened my tires. I went through that crap. Went over to a bar over there one day, and they came in, Jeff Crompton, a couple guys, and since we were on their turf, they started talking a lot of crap, and can't wait till we see y'all. You know, how much do you think we should beat you by, Gene? And I says, what are you talking about? He says, we'll beat you by 12, leave you some humanity, or we could just drounce you by 20. I'm looking at it, so are y'all serious? I mean, you actually think you're going to whip us? I said, okay. And I went back, man. I worked out that night in Cameron just because they pissed me off. And Cameron was really close. So yeah, it's different than it is now. You know, these guys it's all commercial now than it is of a hatred or inner passion to really go at the guys now.
For sure. I think they're all friendly now, man.
Yeah. Very. I mean, it's really unbelievable. I mean, the guys are dating the female basketball players dating guys. It's a serious. Back then, you wouldn't even think about doing that, and if you did it, you did it covertly. But now, it's like it's crazy to me. It's like kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya, Duke and Tar Heels together, kumbaya. So it's a crazy thing. And they only do it now for the make it sound like it's a thing because it's commercialized, and the T lights come on. Yeah, we don't like Duke. We hate Carolina. And then they go calm down. Hey John, let's go over there to Carolina, eat some hot dogs over there. So I mean, it's a whole different situation now.